The United Kingdom Supreme Court on 24th of September 2019 had ruled that Prime Minister Johnson's decision to suspend the parliament is illegal, is beyond its, let's say, capability. And although it was a shame for Prime Minister Johnson, we do not believe, as a Geopolitic Compass, we do not believe that it fits for his purposes. So let's discuss now what is the consequences of this decision, Supreme Court's decision on Prime Minister Johnson, and what are the options left now on table for Britain. Either they will exit from EU with full speed or not. So let's discuss. Now, as you know, on 24th of September 2019, the British Supreme Court had ruled out that Prime Minister Johnson's suspension of Parliament was illegal. We have already indicated that it was ethically, at least, illegal, was not good, it was not right, and now the court also had ruled out that it's also not right under the Constitution. Now, is he going to receive any penalty for his decision? No, he is not. He is still at the office and he is still administrating the country. So from his perspective, it still helped him as much as he intended, he hoped for, because his primary target was to suspend the parliament as much as possible, so that the parliament will not be working, so that nobody will, or even the House of Commons will not stop him trying to exit Britain from EU without a deal. So he succeeded, and he's not going to be penalized for his action of suspension of the parliament. Now, what are the options for Britain left on the table at this moment are two only, and these are, at first, all the opposition leaders might come on the table, because now Prime Minister Johnson has lost the majority in the parliament. Now he's just a minority, considering the coalition, opposition coalition. But there is a problem within the opposition coalition. Still, they are discussing who should be the leader of this temporary government. Now, the Labour Party's leader, Corbyn, he always states that he should be the leader, the prime minister of this coalition, at least for some months before the elections. But the opposition parties' leaders and also the supporters, including the members of the parliament and others, they don't want Corbyn in the government as a prime minister, because frankly they don't like him, and that's the problem. Now, above all, there is a British and the Britain benefits or interests, and then we are talking about the politicians and politicians' interests. Now, they don't merge, to be honest. They are talking something different, and there is something different here ongoing. And from our aspects, and we have stated and talked about this for some time, although we have received some negative comments from our spectators, that British problem is not Brexit at all at this stage. It's the leadership. I mean, if you put aside the royal family, you are going to look at the parliament and the prime minister, and including the minister. And there is no one at this moment really saying something that will help Britain either to exit smoothly, harshly, or what kind of precautions will be taken if it will be really without any deal. Nothing on table, only words. And those words are not going to help them on the meetings on the 17th of October, because if you look from the European aspect or the European Union aspect, and since you are going to take also the statistics or surveys, if there will be any election, what will be the status of the parliament today, you will see that not majorly a change occurs in the parliament or the composition of the parliament, the UK parliament. More or less the Conservatives will be again in the leading position. More or less the minority leader will be Corbyn's party, the Labour Party, and more or less we will have the same structure of the parliament. But even the parliament composition will remain almost intact. There is nothing different, as a saying. There is nothing on the table that brought by Britain to European Union and saying that, okay, we want to do like that this is going to be our cost, we will bear this, but we want you to help us on that or this, or we can help you on that, you can help. But there is no negotiation, there is no tools offered. And that's what I always, since my childhood, I was very much amazed with the Britain politics, that they always offer something and they can get more in return. At this moment, they cannot even offer a thing. There is nothing. It's just talk, 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 and for that purpose, Prime Minister Johnson's really suspension of Parliament works for his purposes, because he even doesn't want to talk about this. He doesn't want to even go to European Union and say we want to offer this. He doesn't. So he just wants to exit with full speed. But if you go to others, and which I have to align, smooth exit is on the favor of the British interest. They don't bring also anything on the table. Corbyn still thinks that he should be the leader, and he only concerns, or his concern is majorly around this. Who is going to be leader of this temporary government? 3 months to 4 months. Corbyn? Yes. And then, even Corbyn becomes the prime minister, then what is your agenda? Nothing. He says that I will go to European Union and I will take it, let's say, postpone the deal deadline to 3 or 4 months or 6 months more, whatever. But he can't. Nobody will grant him anything unless he really commits something else, and something much more different, what the ex-Prime Minister May has already promised. So from this aspect, we see more and more problem around this. That's why there's really a problem of leadership in Britain. It's not about the real Brexit problem. Brexit will take eventually, either with or without a deal. But the problem about the British leadership, this is now on surface. There is nothing. Everybody is only thinking it's themselves around this Brexit and try to position as a light in the tunnel, but they don't. They don't bring anything on the table, and that's why from today to a decade, I can't see any strong leadership will emerge in Britain, and this is going to why Britain is going to weaken in the coming decade, because they have no idea what will happen later on. They will only consider after all the incidents will emerge, and they will only attack all these problems one by one. Once they see these emerging problems in their economy, security, other things. So that will happen. So what are the opposition's leaders' choices at this moment? There are only two, as I said. One, they can go to no confidence vote in the parliament. Since they have now the majority of the parliament, they can take out Prime Minister Johnson. But the problem is that the opposition leaders cannot agree with who is going to be the coming Prime Minister. Corbyn wants to be, but the other opposition leader says we should have an election internally and choose the best from our old members. The second thing, they might wait up until 17th of October. Yes, they can. They have the ability for that. And once they wait, they are assuming that Prime Minister Johnson is going to avoid any kind of deal. He is not going to, let's say, be flexible about anything that might be said or offered by EU, so that he will say no and he will leave the table. Now, after that, the parliament or the oppositions are compelled to go for no confidence vote. So, which I am assuming either 19th or 20th of October, we will hear something about this for sure. And before the 25th of October, it will happen. But don't forget, 31st of October is the last day for the exit. And even there might be a prime minister without any kind of government, or a government of very quick choices. What he's going to bring on the table, with an agreed by all the parliament members or the majority of the parliament members, and shouldn't be very much different from the previous decisions, is a question mark. So from the aspect of EU, there is no reason to really delay this or postpone this exit date, really none. And therefore, even it might happen, I am not very confident that European Union would accept such delay. Although it will be their favor to do it, because also no delay or no deal exit is not interest of the EU too. So really, this is a hard choice for all parties. But we see as the time passes that there will be a no deal exit. But the real problem, as we said before, is not, I repeat, is not the Brexit, is the leadership. In the coming decade, from the parliament, we do not foresee any strong leadership emerging in the parliament. And this is the biggest problem of Britain for the coming decade. And we are going to see after this exit happens, either with deal or without deal, they are not ready to see all these problems emerging, and they are going to attack or challenge them one by one when it emerges. But still, Britain has no idea what is coming next due to lack of strong leadership in the parliament. If you like this button, there's a like button there. Please press on it, and we will appreciate that. Also, if you would like to subscribe yourself to our channel, you are going to hear and watch our video first once we publish on the YouTube. Thank you for watching the video, and see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.